Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Everyone's doing well. Appreciate everyone dropping likes already. Rob, Dylan, Aman, up Jim. How is everyone doing? Bing. How'd everyone do trading yesterday? Morning, good morning. Missed those trades. 3 for 3. Let's go. Green, not so good. So if you didn't do well yesterday, you have to look back and see why you didn't do well. Right? Did you get faked out? Did you size incorrectly? There should always be a reason as to why you didn't do well. Always, go back and take a look. Always. Okay. Not great. Looks like a mix. I'm just reading comments. Nice profits on Square. Green over traded would have been up huge. That happens a ton, right? If you're green for the day in the beginning of the day, all right, let's say it's 10 o'clock Eastern, right, 30 minutes after market opens, and you're green, it's always best to just walk away, right? There's no reason to try and make more profits. Of course it would be great, right? Who doesn't want to make more profits? But it's silly because half the time, or even more than half the time, you're just going to give back those profits. So it's never really worth it to continue trading. It's always best to just step away from the screen and go do something else. Been doing pretty well trading this year. I'm definitely on a nice streak. Let's see what forgot what stats are. Let's see. My stats for the year so far are so I have 15 trades this year, right? It's January 18th, so 18 days into the new year. And I have 15 trades, 13 winning, 2 losing, up 470%. And based on that, up 6,333 contracts. I mean, dollars. Based on the position sizes that I've alerted. So pretty good, right? 86% win rate this year. I do have some alerts that I don't alert on voice chat because they move too quick. But that's that. So pretty good. So let's get into today. Up 0.47%. Data came out earlier at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Looked like it was positive. So this is what I'm looking at for today. This is what I'm looking at for today. So, right, this previous resistance from yesterday, 400.23, right? The 400 level is a massive level. Okay. On SPY and SPX, right? 4,000, massive level. We rejected 4,015, couldn't close over 4,000. But we should open up above that. We are at 399.65 here on SPY. We can break this 400.23 level, definitely a great spot to take calls. Right? Even if we pull back and retest this 398.84 level, definitely still bullish, right? Overall uptrend. Always take account into, you know, what the trend is. Right now we're in an overall uptrend. Any pullback is great. But look how we're kind of like, you know, leveling off here, right? We have this huge spike, pullback, right? Big move to the upside. The highs are starting to get, you know, less high, if that makes sense, right? We have 3 rejections across the board here. So, right, what we want to be careful of is these lows here, right? Something like this. All right, we kind of have a potential rising wedge. This is what I was looking at yesterday. And I wanted to see a breakdown of it, but it didn't happen. But today maybe. Right, so if we do reject these highs, right, and we pull back, this would be a great short entry right here, right below 397.06. Let me remove these lines. It's getting a little confusing. Less is more. So 397.06 is going to be my short entry. Right below this, we're going to break this double bottom, and we'd probably push down to 393.51. Right? Although everything is green today, it's always, you always want to take a look at both sides, right? You never want to have a bias. Right? You just got to play the levels. If the market does this, you do that. Right? The levels is the most important thing. All the indicators are useless in my opinion. Right? You can help, you know, they can help build you know, conviction on a trade. Personally, I don't use anything. I'm just looking at the levels, and that's about it. All right, less is more. Keep it simple. Don't make it too complex, and that's that. All right, I've been tweeting a lot of educational tips, and so make sure that you've been, you know, looking at what I've been tweeting. What time frame do I look at most? I constantly switch back between, you know, these time frames up here, the 5 to the 30 minute. I'm always trying to see different perspectives. Right? I want to make sure that I'm not being biased. Right? I'm not letting my brain tell me, oh, I'm going to be bullish because of this. Right? I always want to, you know, look at the time frames and see the levels. I'm constantly switching back and forth, making sure that the levels and the chart looks good before, and I have a plan before I ever take a trade. A large cup and handle? Yeah, maybe. But need to see it develop first. Right, this would be the huge cup, and a handle would, you know, have to extend a little bit more. Here's a chart for ES. Right, higher and higher lows, lower and lower highs. We had this breakout this morning, but we rejected, sitting right at this trendline resistance. So it needs to break back over this resistance here around 40.28 to 40.30. Right, if it can break that, we need to break 40.35.25. What I'll do is I'm just going to set an alert right here. And there we go, right? Make alerts your best friend. Alerts are extremely, extremely useful. What volume profile? It's just a VRVP. VRVP. Okay. Take a look at some setups. Following. All right. Higher and higher lows, lower and lower highs. Could watch this level here for a breakout above 212.75. If it breaks above this, next resistance above is 213.88. I like the levels here on Boeing though. Keep an eye on that. And then below this level, 209.07, right? You'd see a breakdown to around 203.7 or so at this level right here. And why did I choose this level? Because we have a previous double top rejection here. We have a previous bounce. We bounced again, right? It's the most common level across the board here. Everyone could please drop a like on the video. I would appreciate it. Nvidia, a huge mover yesterday. Kind of even here. Pre-market, just gonna wait to see what happens with that. Apple. Here's Apple, right? Kind of a huge rounded bottom, right? We had higher lows, lower highs. Now we had this double top rejection, right? We rejected right around 136.81, which is this previous resistance from December 21st. Right? If Apple can break this high of 137.29, we should continue to break above, right? And we should push up to around 140 or so. Okay. This is the 2-hour chart on Apple. Right, we also have a huge resistance. Right, I'm curious to see if we can finally start pushing back above. Huge resistance on Apple. Right, this level right here is probably the most important level, around 134.38. Right, we bounced once, twice, 3 times. Then we started to reject it, but we pushed back over it, so that's good. But that's the level I'm watching on Apple. This high from yesterday. Square, great push yesterday. CBLS traded this. Right, we had this triple top, and then we had this resistance right below. Right, anytime a consolidation occurs below a resistance and it starts to create lower highs and higher lows, it's a sign of, you know, it's setting up for a breakout. Right, that's what you want to look for every single time. Right, higher lows, lower highs, consolidating tightly below resistance. A huge breakout. Now we're getting close to this resistance here. Tesla up 4% here in pre-market. Right, great breakout yesterday from this flag. Right, higher lows, lower highs. Broke the resistance. Right, look how it breaks out, pulls back, retests it, and continues. Right, now we're opening up right around 136.8. We have a double bottom here and a previous resistance. Right, so if this level can hold, we should see some continuation. Right, notice the things that I'm saying. I'm always saying higher lows, lower highs. I'm always saying consolidation. I'm always saying flagging. These are the things you want to look for. Right, you want to trade less, but higher probability setups. And what's a higher probability setup? It's exactly what I just mentioned. Right, it's consolidation. It's higher lows, lower highs. It's flags. Right, flags is a sign of consolidation, and you want to play the pullbacks and the breakouts. Very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Look at the higher time frame. Right, if you're trading the 1 minute, you're gonna have a heart attack. It's impossible. It's not impossible. You just have to take profits way quicker. You have to be quicker. You have to execute faster. Right, if you're not good with taking trades and exiting quickly, definitely don't be trading this time frame. Even the 3 minute, it's still, you know, very difficult. Trade a higher time frame, you'll thank yourself. Drop a thumbs up in the chat if that makes sense. Get some activity going here. We do have a bunch of Fed speakers today. Let's see what it was. So Ballstick at 9, Bullet at 9:30, George at 1, Harker at 3, Logan at 5. All the details are in Market Insights. Cedar posted all of them, so go check that out. What about the volume on these flags? So the thing about volume, I don't really take a look at it while I'm trading because you could tell based on the candles, right? It's pretty obvious when there's more volume, right? When there's chop to the side, there's no volume, right? But then when you get this huge breakout, right? So for example, if I zoom in here, look at this flag here. Right, so this little flag, right? Notice how we have the pole, we have the sideways consolidation, right? Volume is lower. And then once we start to get the breakout over the resistance, volume comes in, right? That's the only reason it's breaking out, is because volume is coming in, right? It should be self-explanatory. You don't need to really, I don't really look at the volume candles ever. Some people might say I'm stupid for it. Some people, say I'm genius for, keeping it simple. It works for me, and that's all I really care about. All right, you could tell the volume based on the candles. Okay. The large candles are always going to have the most volume, right? They're moving because there's volume. Candles big because there's volume. And that's really that. Sweet. All right, so AMD. Hopefully that makes sense as well. Uh, 919. All right, it's going quick. I enter the trade typically before it breaks out. All right, so again, for example, in this setup here, all right, let's say we're trading this flag. This is a perfect flag. We have higher lows, lower highs, looking for a breakout, right? I'm looking to take an entry at the break of this region right here, right? I want to enter before it breaks this pink trend line, right? If I can enter here with a stop loss below, I have huge room to the upside and a tight stop loss below, right? Risk to reward is great. Excuse me. Just had to mute my mic because I sneezed. Look what happens after it breaks out, right? We get the breakout. Right? Volume comes in, although, I don't really look at it because, of course, it's going to be higher volume on a big candle. Breakout, pull back right to that previous resistance. Right? Previous resistance acts as a new support, and then we see continuation. Same thing every single time. Right? Keep it simple. Once your account, it's 25K, doesn't matter for your cash or margin. No. If you have over 25K, there's no restrictions. Right, you could trade unlimited with over 25K. You can use the money over and over again. If you have a cash account, right, you only have X amount to trade with, but you have unlimited trades under 25K. I never use margin. There's no need to be trading options with margin. A recipe for disaster. I use margin on my main account. I don't use margin. I should have stated that differently. I have a margin account as my main account. Right? I don't have a cash account on my main account. But anything under 25K that I use is a cash account, because the last thing I want is being stuck in a trade. On the flag on January 12th, the flag is not setting higher lows, but it broke out either way. On which ticker? Right, so a flag is not always going to break out in the direction that it's facing, right? So a bull flag is not always going to break out to the upside, right? A bull flag helps us, right? Why do we trade a bull flag? It helps us create a plan, right? It gives us a defined strategy, right? It gives you an entry point, it gives you a stop loss, and it gives you a price target. That's why we trade them. Doesn't mean it's going to break out to the upside every single time, right? It could still break to the downside, but it still gives you an entry and exit to the upside or the downside. Okay. Right, and that's exactly what you need to look for, right? You can't let that bull flag bias or the bear flag bias get to you, right? Just because it's a bull flag does not mean it's going to break to the upside, right? This pattern here looks like we might get the breakout over this resistance here. Doesn't mean it's going to, right? It still could pull back, but it's giving us a good risk to reward. Right, entry point would be here, stop loss would be below, price target would be the resistances above. I'm not doing the 2K challenge for a bit. All right, C-Bless is doing his. I'll let him do his thing. You could take my trades on a 2K account if you want. I like trading the larger contracts. I hate trading the smaller numbers. They move better, in my opinion, the larger contracts. Which is why my trades typically cost, 500 plus. Tesla already covered. It's gapping up 4%. Let's see what else. Amazon, keeping an eye on. Right, kind of have a triple bottom here with lower highs. And it's right around this resistance here. Right, previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance. Right, if this breaks through, we should test the highs here. No, I don't like to be close to the money. I do like to go out of the money still. Right, but I like to trade the larger premiums. Right, I'd rather not take 100 contracts of something that's, $20 or $100. I'd rather take 20 contracts of something that's $500. My name in the member Discord is the same as my YouTube enhanced market. Analyst alerts is where I post my trades. If everyone can drop a like, I would appreciate it. VIX is breaking to the downside here. You get rocked on 100 contracts with fees. It's just a cost of trading, right? That means you gotta make more money. Right, everything has a cost to it. Yeah, I like playing the breakouts. So if I get in, right, on a $500 contract, right, SPX, right, all I need is one little breakout. Right, I like to get in before the breakout happens, right? This is before implied volatility hits. Right, I would like to enter, like, for puts right before we get the breakdown. Right, if I enter here, and usually I could time it right, I'll get the breakdown and I'll exit right on that first candle. right? That first candle is going to have the highest implied volatility, and we're going to get the biggest spike in the shortest amount of time, which is why sometimes I'll enter, right? It'll be like $500, $600, and it'll break out and it'll jump to $800, $900, right? I can get 30, 40, even 80 to 100% in a few minutes. And that's what I like to do. Twitter is enhanced market. Everything's enhanced market. I haven't looked at DXY in years. I don't think I've ever even looked at DXY. I'm just trading the things right here. Market opens in 2 minutes though. So I'm going to switch over to the Discord live chat. As always, I appreciate every single one of you stopping by, asking me questions. I am doing this for you. I don't need to be doing this. Right, plan the trade, trade the plan. Don't be silly, right? Size correctly. And as always, let's get after it. Have a good day. I'll see you guys in the Discord.